Let me take these gloves off because it is too hot to do this review right now. Guys, we are on the OG 636. For those who know, you know, this is exactly the motorcycle that I started on the channel 3.5 years ago. So this is a very special, close, near and dear review for your boy. You understand me? Mine was a 2013. This one is a 2013 as well. This is literally a replica copy. Riding this bike, I've been riding it for a little bit just to get used to it because I haven't rode one in so long, and it is so easy. Whoever put this lever guard on, they got it on the wrong way, but whatever. That ain't the point of the video. The point of the video is that this bike is absolutely insane. You don't need nothing more than a 600 on the street. You guys know how much I love 1000s, how much I rave about them, but I also rave about the 600cc bikes as well, and this video is going to be proof of that. There's a guy on a little bike up there. He keeps looking. Come say hi, man. I don't bite. Excuse me. Now, if you remember from my last video about the ZX10, I was talking about higher mileage motorcycles. This one has 30,000 miles, and this is a perfect example of how a 30K bike is nothing to be afraid of, guys. A lot of my reviews on this channel are with higher mileage bikes on purpose to show you that if you take care of it and maintain it, it will take care of you. Now with this bike, you'll see there 30,000 miles. It has a few different modes that my CBR 1000 does not have. Your power mode up here is full and low. I'll be riding in full power for the sake of this review. And then for traction control, you have 1, 2, 3, and then off. So really cool that even a 600 comes with power modes. I think the Suzuki GSX-Rs and the Kawis come with that. I'm not sure what other bikes. I know my Fireblade does not, and I wish it did, but back in that time, it was just a very raw machine. This one has a quick release fuel cap, and it even has a M4 exhaust. I'm going to reference the last video a lot in this, since this is the little brothers of the ZX10. M4 is literally the best exhaust you can get on a Kawi. You'll see how loud this is. It screams like a 1000, but it's a 600. And it's not too loud. The M4 is crisp. The engineering that went into these, absolutely amazing. And the M4 is the exact same exhaust I had on my 636 too. Another way how you know a bike is maintained well is due to the tires. This has Michelin tires on literally the front and rear. Great tread depth. Look at that. They might even be brand new. And riding it here to this location, the OG location, it was an amazing ride. Riding on Michelin's is a completely different type of feel compared to a cheaper tire. You're confident riding into the corners, and that's why tires are so important. You can get an excellent tread life out of these, and this bike is for sale and no other than Target Motorsports. Some people call the front fascia a bug look, and you know, it kind of does have that, but they are super aerodynamic, and man, are they nimble and fun. It is so fun to ride a 600 fast. And 600s are not slow by any means, but this is the cheater bike, guys. This is the 636, literally an extra 36 cc's compared to most other bikes. This is going to compete with your Yamaha R6s, your CBR 600s, anything in that class. Gixxer 600, hell, even Gixxer 750. People will rip these on the track. Let me stop talking your ear off. Let's hop on the bike, get it started, and see what this machine is like, guys. You're in for a treat. Also, thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. Y'all have been excellent supporters for all these years. And again, the channel is blowing up, so let's keep the content rolling for you guys. One thing the 636 has a problem with is this damn ignition. I don't know if that's from sitting outside or what, but turning the key is a pain in the ass. Can we do better with that? And then that subtle startup, oh my gosh, it never gets old. And this one feels top heavy, just like the ZX10. I mean, look how large the tank is. You feel so far away from the front end of the bike compared to my Fireblade, and that's the same on the ZX10 and the 636. Exhaust. Do you hear how loud that is? I don't know if the microphone does justice, but let's find out. This bike is so easy to ride that I understand why stunters choose this to make a stunt bike. Brakes feel real good. thing is unbelievable. I mean, wow. It makes me question why I want to buy a ZX10 just from riding it as long as I have before I started this camera. But I already committed to the ZX10 and I got to be a man of my word. But dude, this bike is so easy. The clutch engages early. It's loud. I hope you guys can hear me, and I'm not even being dramatic. And another thing about this 30k mile bike, you know it's maintained well when the clutch feels extremely light. You could just give the clutch lever a tap like this, and you know, 2 fingers, and it just engages so quick. That's how you know when the clutch was maintained, and if it goes into neutral real easy. This isn't just a 30,000 mile motorcycle, guys. This is a 30,000 mile maintained motorcycle, adult owned. Do you understand me? And it even has the little triangle down there, as all Kawis do, about the best fuel miles that you're getting. I love that feature too, because a lot of bikes don't have that. That's one of the things that make this bike a good commuter bike. And most 600s, you're in a very aggressive position like this one, but it's not that bad. Kawis and Suzuki has this thing where they are very, very, very comfortable to ride. On the CBR 1000 and Yamaha R1, you are in a very aggressive, hunched down position just sitting on the bike. I feel very relaxed on this, and you know, what I remember from my 636 is that I never really had back pain riding that motorcycle compared to the Fireblade or any other motorcycle I owned. I think the Suzuki GSX-R 750, and this thing is so loud I can't even talk. The GSX-R 750 and my 636 were the most comfortable bikes I ever owned, just because how they're set up, if that makes sense. Oh man. What's interesting is my bike revs up to 14,000 RPM. This bike revs up to 16,000 RPM. Holy crap. Yeah, she's a screamer. This is the shit that you hear at 3 a.m. on the highway. Yeah, buddy. So I think that's very interesting how a 600 motorcycle can rev so high, sometimes higher than a 1000. That's the one department that I'm not exactly sure how that's possible. I would love for one of you guys who have experience, tell me a little bit about that. Why does a Yamaha R6 and a 636 rev higher than a CBR 1000 RR? aka my 2008. But this bike feels right at home, man. And even in town, you're not really getting out of third gear, which is interesting. Let's see how she runs on a highway. Can I make that? Yes, I can. Look how nimble this is. These tires really have a huge impact on this bike and how it handles, in my opinion. The 636 handles phenomenally anyway. Oh, that's loud. That M4 is loud, boy. And the one day I forget to bring my earplugs, holy crap. So I may be going through the gears a little bit more just because of how loud this is. But I'll try to keep it low for you guys. Oh man, this bike feels good. Now this gear indicator is a little messed up. It's saying I'm in first, but I'm not. And that could be the clutch lever or something small like that. But I am in the right gear. That's nothing to really be concerned about, guys, on a 30k mile bike. As long as she runs, it switches gear. Now I'm in 6. Yep. Oh man, some downshifts. That's why it's important to know what gear you're in when you're riding. Going that fast, the handlebars don't even vibrate. That's insane. What I like about the 636 is that it just feels like gradual power. Does that make sense? You're going through the RPMs very gradually. Holy crap, with one arm it's still very straight. It's a lot of wind. I hope you guys can hear me. This is kind of wild, honestly. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about my 2013 636 that you guys probably did not know. When I bought that bike, I bought it from Premier Motorsports in Jacksonville, Florida, before they were really famous on social media. My wife and I came down. We drove down in my car, and it was so cool because I bought that bike and I live about 4 hours away. And tell me why I didn't get a truck and trailer, nothing like that. I rode that motorcycle 4 hours home from Jacksonville, Florida to South Carolina, boy. It was an amazing experience. It was a night ride, and I absolutely loved it. That's really where I really fell in love with that bike, because it was my ultimate dream bike at that time. That was my second motorcycle, and coming from a 400, dude, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal motorcycle. And I did have problems with my 636, and then the reason why is because I basically bought it as kind of like a track setup bike. It was a track bike. It's been dogged, it's been dropped, and I bought the worst example of a 636 that you could buy at that time, at bullion style. That's how I was able to get such a good deal on it. At the time I paid $7,000. Mind you, this is in 2022. I think they were going for about $9 grand at that time for a 2013. So for a $2K discount, I got a really good deal. So that's why I went to Premier, and I thought it was worth the drive. I had to do so much maintenance on that bike, man. It needed a new air switching valve, which left me stranded at a gas station once. And then shout out to Target Motorsports, my buddy Travis, he was able to pick me up, and we ordered a new OEM air switching valve. So that was really cool. And I think that part at the time was like $200, or you could buy a aftermarket one for like $70. And he told me that he really recommends getting the OEM because you buy it once and you don't have to worry about it again for a very long time. I bought the OEM version. I rode that bike for many years with no problem. And then it was little things like the running lights going out over and over again. But again, I think that was due to the previous owner. So a lot of my experiences with that bike weren't the best, primarily due to the ownership history of that bike before I bought it. And I think mine had like 15,000 miles on it at the time, which is good on these bikes, but they were 15,000 rough miles compared to this 30K. I mean, you can easily tell like this is a beautiful running machine. Woo, you hear them pops? Let me downshift again. Yeah, with the M4 you're gonna pop a few times. If you're in between buying a 1000 or a 600, it really depends on your riding style and what you're comfortable with and what you plan on doing long term. If you want to take some track days and only go to the track but not really ride on the street like some people do, man, a 600 is all you need, and you could wipe some guys out on the track that are on 1000s, my guy. Like, it is crazy. That's a fact. It's a known fact. So just because you have a 1000 don't mean you're faster than a 600, because the person on a 600 with skills, oh, they'll clean a clock on a person with a 1000 all day long, bro. I've seen it time and time again. Another thing I like about South Carolina are these beautiful back roads. The scenery on a nice chill day, I think it's just under 80 degrees today, which is perfect riding weather for once. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm really impressed with the rideability of this motorcycle. I just feel like I could take it on a long road trip and it'd just be so fun. My CBR 1000 would not be fun on a road trip. It's just too aggressive, too loud. That's way louder than this bike. And I think the ergonomics of it won't support the road trip in the way that I want it to support. You know what I'm saying? So subtle with the downshifts. Okay, 636, I see you. My 636 was called Zora. Oh, I miss Zora. My baby. I never did rebuild that bike. I sold it to another influencer, and he used it as parts for a stunt bike. So it all worked out for everybody. It is what it is. I'm still riding all these years later and having fun. Dude, what an awesome experience this was to ride a properly maintained bike minus the goofy mods. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment, subscribe for your boy. Take it easy. Peace.